Hi, this video is going to cover how to multiply three quantities together. Something that perhaps you haven't seen before. As far as the method of how we do this, if you're not sure, we can always explore with numbers, because how numbers behave is how the variables that take their place behave. So let's look at a simpler problem. 2 times 3 times 10. Something like this, we would know instinctively to multiply 2 times 3 is 6. And then we take the 6 and multiply it by the 10. So what we really did is we multiplied the two quantities together and then took the result and multiplied it by the remaining quantity. Well, that really gives us the biggest hint on how to do this problem. I also want to make a point. I chose to do the 2 times 3 first, but I could have gone 2 times 10 times 3, because we know when we multiply it doesn't matter the order. So 2 times 10 would be 20, and then 20 times the 3 would come out to be the 60 that I got before. So it doesn't matter the order, but we multiply two things together, and then we take what we got and we multiply it by the remaining quantity. That's how we're going to do this one right here. So to start with, I could choose to multiply this and this, or this and this, or this and this, because again, the order still doesn't matter. So I'm not going to see this quantity here for now. I'm just going to focus on the first two. 2x times x is 2x squared. See, we're using our FOIL that we recently learned. 2x times a negative 3 is a negative 6x. We've now multiplied the 2x by both terms in there, so it's the 1's turn. So the 1 times the x, I can write plus 1x, but plus x means the same thing. And 1 times a negative 3 is just a negative 3. Now I could take all of this and go and multiply by the remaining amount, but it's easier to do if I simplify by combining like terms first. So I'll take the negative 6x plus 1x, and that's going to be a negative 5x. So I'm combining these two middle terms. So this right here is the result I got from multiplying these two together. Of course, if you chose a different pairing to start off with, it would affect what you would get at this stage. Now we're going to take this, and we're going to multiply this quantity by the remaining factor of x plus 4. So multiplying, again, the rule, this obviously is not going to be a FOIL case because it's not just 2 terms times 2 terms, but the general rule for multiplying polynomials together is always every term in the first quantity gets multiplied by every term in the second. So to make sure I don't overlook, I just usually point to the first term and I say x times 2x squared, 2x to the third, x times a negative 5x, negative 5. See, these both have 1's here, so it's x squared, because we add the exponents when we're multiplying. X times a negative 3. And now this has been multiplied by all three of these terms, so it's the 4's turn. So the 4 gets multiplied by this. 4 times 2 is 8x squared. I kind of like to, I'm afraid I'll go off the board, but I kind of like to line up my terms with the other like terms. So 4 times 2x squared is 8x squared. So, and it's positive times positive. Okay. And then the 4 times a negative 5 is a negative 20x. And the 4 times a negative 3 is a negative 12. So I lined up my like terms just to make it a little easier to combine them afterwards. But if I had written these terms over here, that wouldn't have made any difference. I'd still be trying to add like terms. So at this stage, it's 2x to the third. He has nothing to combine with. The negative 5x squared plus 8x squared is going to be a positive 3x squared. If you have a negative 3x and a negative 20x, that's a negative 23x. And then the number term has no other number term to be combined with. So it just remains like this. There is your final answer. Okay, if you'd like a screenshot of this, feel free. Because in a moment I'm going to show you just one other problem. Actually, I think I'll just erase this number stuff over here. Alright, so I'm going to just draw a line down so you don't think that what I'm writing over here has anything to do with what's over here. What if I got a problem that looked like this? Is this by chance three things multiplied by each other? I think it is, because it's a 2x times an x plus 3 times another x plus 3 because of the squaring. The thing I wanted to point out to you, though I said earlier you should never, you had an opportunity to multiply in any order you want, over here I'm not allowed to multiply the 2x by the x and by the 3. That isn't an option for me. It's because this is stuff times stuff squared. And according to the order of operations, I have to do squaring before multiplying. If I multiply first, the 2x comes inside here, and then it's part of what gets squared later. But we know that that squared only applies to the thing right to its immediate left. So the real meaning of this problem, this has only to do with order of operations. The real meaning of this problem is this. And some of you may remember the shortcut for when you square a sum. We did that in 8.4. But in any case, I'm at this stage allowed to multiply any two of these things together. I'm going to choose these two things because we've practiced that recently. So I'm ignoring the 2x for now. X times x is x squared. That's a plus 3x and another plus 3x, so that would be a plus 6x. And then positive 3 times positive 3 is positive 9. And you remember, if you didn't learn how to do these mentally, you can always fall back and do all four terms and combine your like terms. It'll end up looking, whoops, I left out my square. X times x, there are ones here, so I should get x squared there. That's the result of this times this. Now this gets multiplied by 2x. So now I distribute the 2x to each term. 2x times x to the second, 2x to the third, 2x times positive 6x plus 12x squared, 2x times a 9, positive 18x. I'm only allowed to add x cubed terms to other x cubed terms, x squared terms to other x squared terms, and x terms to other x terms. So this is as far as we can go. But I just wanted to show you once that we were not allowed to multiply the 2x by this because we have to do the power before we do the multiplication. Hope that this video was helpful.